has Overdose out. Everyone is talking about it. They're talking about the model in the video. People are talking about the song, but I get to I get to speak to him about Overdose. Some more things that you haven't heard from EL in a while, and we get to have a good conversation. How are you doing, EL?
I'm great. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Okay, so Overdose is out.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about it.
Right. Right.
Yes,
Happy. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Yeah.
and everyone is talking about the lyrics of the song. People are talking about the model in your video and all that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the strategic move for this one?
It wasn't a strategy. It was just me doing what I love. You know, I love making music, and I had the song, and I really love the song. So I thought, okay, maybe my fans will love it as well. So that's how come the whole thing came together.
And the other parts that people are talking about, this model.
Oh, Matisse. Matisse is actually a great person. She's a video personality, and she's been doing great things in the UK as well. She recently took part in this sports reality TV show in the UK, which is huge, and so she's very well known. So big ups to the whole team, not just Matisse, the whole team. Made
Okay.
it.
Now, it looks like it's a gradual one for you. You drop one, and then you wait a while, you drop one. There was Joy, which
Yeah.
Joy FM said it was their song, you know.
Right.
Did you have Joy in mind when you did that?
No, I didn't have Joy FM in mind. I had Joy in mind generally, but I thought it'll be a good fit for them because they are family. You know, they've been supporting me from the very beginning, so it's something that I thought was a match made in heaven. So I hope they continue to play it. Yeah.
Okay, then I saw you cook beats whilst you were driving to. What song was that you were cooking the beat for, or no? That
Man, I've forgotten, man. It wasn't a song. It was just a beat that I was making at that time. Yeah.
was it like the inspiration came whilst you were driving, or you
Yeah.
wanted to show how versatile you were?
No, no, no. It was just, I mean, as a producer, you get inspired at different times, I guess. So that's what it was. Yeah.
I see. But do you go beyond producing beats for yourself to produce for others as well?
Well, yeah, I do so, but not as much as I used to. It's just a time where I don't bother myself too much with producing for other artists. I see that there are so many talented producers out there these days. So me myself, I even find myself going out to them to go and look for beats. So, but it will come to a time I'll start doing that again. So let's see what happens.
You do it for the joy of it, or you do it so that you could also get something from that as well.
Something like what?
Some small money,
Oh no. Producers don't get paid that much in Ghana. I don't do it to get paid. I mean, nobody can pay me for my beats in Ghana these days. So I just do it for myself and for the people around me. That's how come I don't do it for too many people.
Now, what does it take, to do music? You've been doing music very well. Some people say it's inspiration.
Right.
Others talk about the fact that, they need to see a story, or they talk about their experiences.
Yeah.
What do you take, to do your songs, or what motivates you rather to do your songs?
I get inspired by different things. But the first thing is just the fact that it's my passion, it's my gifts, and I love it. that's what God has given to me to do in this earth, in this life. So if I don't make music, I don't see myself doing anything else. I get itchy, So I really wake up in the morning and I have an idea or something I see or somebody I have an experience with, or maybe it could just be this interview. We can do a song about it and stuff. So it's just the things that I go through day by day, and it's something that God has given to me.
Is that to say that if you weren't a musician, you couldn't have done anything else?
Well, I mean, I'm a man of different talents, but my core passion, my burning desire is to make music. I mean, I have my hands in different things. And if I wasn't making music, I'd probably be doing those other things. But music is my number one love. Yeah.
If you were asked to do something else, because I was waiting to see whether you say what other thing it was.
Right,
Is there
right.
anything,
No, I mean, there's a lot of. I'd probably be running a business, or I'd be into. I've fallen in love with building, So I'd probably be into building something or something of the sort. But there are so many things that I could be doing.
people define music in different ways. What's your definition of music?
Music is like the expression of the soul. It's it's the universal expression of the soul. So that's what I think music is.
I ask because, rapper EL, then singing or singer EL, and I'm like, okay, is it just because you want to show how versatile you are as a musician, or you feel that, the choruses or the hooks of your songs, especially will carry heavier messages than the rap does?
It's not about rapping or singing. It's about expression, for me. Um, and not to downplay anybody's effort, any artist's effort, but um, as an artist, I believe that you have your weapon. You have your range of arsenal that you have to use to express yourself. And for me, I have production, I have singing, I have rapping, I have scoring for movies, and I have all that arsenal. And that's what I use. Other artists use maybe rap to express themselves. Other artists use other ways. But me, I have a wide range of arsenal that I use. So it's not about trying to show somebody that I can do this or this. It's just me, how I express myself. So if you have a gift, I have my gift. Let's just use those gifts to make the world a better place, I guess.
I've heard people say that 2016 or 2015, when did you win the Artist of the Year? 2016 was your best year yet. Do you also believe that that's the best year yet for you?
Every year is my best year yet. Just being alive today is my best year yet. There are people who didn't make it into 2018, so judging by people's description of success, they might think that was my best year yet. But I could say my personal best year yet is 2018 because
even
professionally speaking, it's my best year because I've been able to achieve bigger things that I might not be telling the whole world about, but things that I consider to be greater conquests than what the world knows about. So definitely 2018 is my best year, yeah.
And these things that you have achieved, do they have to do with music, or they have to do with your businesses that you're running?
They have to do with everything, with my music, with my businesses, with me personally as an individual, my mind, my body, my spirit, everything. It has to do with everything. So I'm definitely in the best place that I've been so far.
The reason people have said that is because Coco and the other beautiful song that you Kabwame. I think they were about Coco, and then there was My God, in Minabopo, all those songs, were in a particular year, and people felt that this is, amazing. You drop hits after hits after hits, songs that have great airplay and all that. You don't think that it made 2016 made a difference?
No, that was great in terms of me releasing my music. That was great. But if you ask me personally, what my priorities are as a human being, that's just a small portion of what I consider to be my top priorities. I could drop songs every day for the rest of this year if I wanted to, and each and every one of them are going to be, yeah, we love this song, we love this song. But those are not my top priorities. I love my fans and I want to give them everything. But I also have to think about myself. I'm the type of artist who is known to be very hidden and very mysterious because I like to have my privacy and I like to have my life separate from my career. So speaking in those terms, I think I have to compartmentalize and make sure that everybody is happy. So if I'm happy, I'm going to make sure that everybody else is happy at the end of the day.
Do you think that you're too deep for the Ghanaian markets? For a lot of people in the Ghanaian market, do you think that you're too deep?
Yes, I think so. I find myself most of the time having to dumb it down, and that's not a bad thing because you have to consider what you want to achieve in terms of making music and expressing yourself and communicating your message to a wider audience. And you have to think that wider audience, will they understand if I say it this way? And you're like, no. Most of the time I'm like, no, if I say it this way, they don't go back. So I'm going to have to say it this way. That's why I come out and say, Yole Bote Club, because then they understand that kind of expression. And I could go as deep as anybody, but most of the time I find myself having to dumb it down a little bit so that people can understand.
Is that a worry?
No, it's not a worry. It's actually a blessing. It's an ability. It's a gift because not everybody has the the capability to say, okay, I understand these people and I want to communicate to them in this way, and having the ability to actually do it is the hard part. But I can do that all day, every day. So I guess it's not a bad thing. I love my people. I love my fans, and I like talking to them. So that's what it is.
You think that people undermined your prowess as a rapper, singer, producer, and all that? Do you think that way?
No, no, it's all up to me. It's basically all up to me. I've learned not to rely on people, but to rely on myself and to rely on God, and the rest will fall in place. So if I want to achieve ABC, it's just up to me to plan it and put the right things in place to make those things happen. So I'm never going to say that people undermine me or people underrate me or I'm not getting the recognition I deserve. It's all up to me to make that happen if I want to. So at the right time, when I want to make that happen, I will make that happen.
When is that time?
Sooner than you think. Maybe when Waves comes out.
So is that the reason, you're taking it slow?
Well, I'm not taking it. I wouldn't say I'm taking it slow. In terms of releases, maybe, but in terms of who I am as a person and who I am as an individual, I'm, like I said, in the place that I want to be right now. But rest assured, if you're looking for more music from EL, then get ready for that because I'm going to be releasing a lot more music now that I'm done with that part of things that I was doing. Yeah.
So, this perception that, rappers have a certain, lifestyle, they are hard guys and all that, because you need to look like the words that you put out there.
Right,
Do you get that impression sometimes when you step out, you need to, EL who raps, so you have to carry yourself in a certain way?
No, no, it's 2018, and not every rapper is a gangster rapper these days. I think more than anything, a rapper is somebody who has to carry across a positive message, and it's not even just a rapper. As a musician and somebody who has been gifted with the gift of communication, you have to make sure that you're using that power for good. So I try and, as much as possible, not all the time, but as much as possible, convey that message of positivity, self-assurance, self-confidence, hope, and pride in whatever you do. That's basically what I try and exude in my music. But I mean, there's always a temptation to be what you are not, or to try and act like what you are not, because the industry sometimes shifts you in certain directions. And I'm mature enough to know who I am as a person, so those things don't really bother me. Yeah.
There's also claims that, musicians, especially in Ghana and maybe across Africa, you always want to, show cars, in the kind of videos they shoot, they portray things as if, everything is rosy and blah, 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 blah. So it tends to give the society a certain, perception that this is the benchmark. You need to be like this. This is how it is in real life and all that. Do you sometimes get people questioning why you use certain things for your video and why it's like that and why it's not like an everyday person, so that they can also feel like, this is...
Right. I think we are meant to encourage people. We are meant to strive for the best, and we are meant to be role models as well. And when I say we, I mean celebrities in inverted commas. So just imagine the kid on the street or somewhere just watching you. What message do you want to give across to them? You want to give them across a message that I'm successful and you can be successful too. Look at what I've been able to get as a result of my hustle. So that's how come sometimes we show off all those things in our videos. I don't do that as much as name a person, but I try and be as real as I can. So if you see me flashing off something in a video, it's probably something that belongs to me. So I've worked hard for what I've been able to achieve, and I pride myself in being able to encourage people to challenge themselves to achieve those things as well.
When you talk about the fact that society looks up to you and a lot more others, do you feel pressure on you because it means that now that okay, this person is going to be looking at, I need to, is it pressure?
Yeah, it's a sometimes it's a lot of pressure because you have always to you always have to play your role right. You always have to be an inspiration and the epitome of success. But what I try and do is to be me. So I'm not like a perfect individual. I'm not a perfect person. I make mistakes, and I admit to those mistakes. So for me personally, if you're asking, I try and be as genuine as I can. And when I make a mistake, I apologize for it and I move on. And that is the best message that you can give to anybody, not for them to try and act like they are not, or try and act like they are the perfect individual, but to be the most genuine version of yourself that you can be. So that's what I try and do.
Is that what translates to what sometimes you see you respond to people on social media when they call you names and all that?
Yeah.
I remember the pineapple thing and some others,
Right. Well, the pineapple thing was fun. I absolutely enjoyed that. But yeah, like you're saying, when somebody says something, I mean, I get a lot of trolls on social media and people who necessarily don't understand where I could be coming from, and they come and say all sorts of things that might not necessarily be the the rosiest of comments and some hurtful things. And sometimes, it's very hard to ignore all of that. Sometimes you want to let people know that you actually do bite back and you're not a toothless bulldog. So, which I'm not to any extent. So once in a while, you lose. But now I've just adopted a habit of just blocking everybody. So
you don't think that soon you block almost everyone?
no, that would go to say that everyone is saying something bad about me. But I have people who I know. I mean, 99% of the people who come on social media to address me, it's all positive vibes, and that's what I like to do. I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody. But if there's somebody who says something negative, I don't want to see, I'll just block you straight up.
There's been talks, and I noticed personally that when Casper Novus came to town, there were a list of people that Sarkodie had mentioned to him to, make sure he gets in touch with. I saw somebody comment, you didn't mention EL. In fact, I was on TV, and the director even whispered to me that EL is not part of that list. So I said, okay, so what happened to EL? Did you see that tweet?
Yeah.
Did you hear about it, and how did you feel?
Well, it made me feel kind of bad, but that's him. That's his list, so he can list whoever he wants to list. That's it.
Is there bad blood between the two of you?
No, there's no bad blood. I'm just not messing with any of these artists anymore. I'm not. I've come to realize that it's every man for himself, and the past doesn't really count for anything in this industry. So, when it comes to features, I'm going to feature the people who are holding me down. When it comes to collabos and stuff like that, but for the rest of it, I don't really. It doesn't matter to me.
Is that as in tweets what we keep hearing, that there's no unity in the industry?
I think so. I think you are only as sought after as you are. How do I say this? You are only required to be in somebody's presence when they need you for something. But when they don't need you for anything, they look elsewhere. So it's basically up to you as an artist to make sure that you are always needed. And when you don't do so, artists will look elsewhere. So I guess that's it. I've reached a point where I've decided not to mess with any of these artists, any of these Ghanaian artists. Most of these Ghanaian artists, not any of them, but most of them are not. I'm not gonna mess with them anymore.
Are collaborations your thing, or?
No, I don't.
I noticed.
I don't. I don't like collaborating with artists because it's, except the ones who I'm very close to, the ones who you usually see me on a track with. I'm going to be able to pick up a phone and say, yo, come to the studio and talk about studio. I haven't had a studio in the past 2 years. I've been working.
What happened to your studio? Because
Yeah.
there was a studio you told us that Obo had given to you. I thought that's what you still...
Oh, no, that was how many years ago? That was about 6 years ago. From there, I moved to another studio. I left BBNZ, and now I have my own studio, which I'm about to launch. So the reason why I haven't actually been doing so many collabos is because I haven't had a home to invite artists out to. So any artist now that I want to do work with, I can comfortably call them and say, hey, come to the studio. That's if I mess with them. If not, I don't want to have anything to do with them.
I like the word mess with it. I thought I understood till until you just said like if I mess with them. So what does that word mean?
No, mess
Maybe
with
it's not
them
in
is-
the context which I
Well,
understand.
the context which I understand, to mess with somebody is like to, to associate or to vibe with them.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's.
I
I
didn't
mess
get
with
it
you,
that way.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did mess with my boys, That means we're
What
always.
kind of terminology is that?
It's a lummy language.
Okay,
Bob?
I see.
Yeah.
Brings me to one of your tracks that I love so much. I couldn't really, gather all of the words, but I think it's a play with on words. You form, words, you put the
Right.
latest out there.
Lyrical algebra. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
Thank
And
you.
like it made me fall in love with your works. I'm
Right.
like, this is deep. That's why I asked you whether you think that people,
you.
even me, like
Right.
it's like, hey,
Right.
I need to take my time to
get
digest
it,
and
yeah.
all that,
Yeah.
What happened to that song? Like you did that and then,
Well, I did it. I wrote the song. We put it on the bar project. We shot a video for it. We didn't shoot a video, but we had a viral video out for it, and I hope the fans enjoy it. That's as much as I can do. I mean, I didn't promote it that much. And the thing
why so?
about because it's not a song that I thought I wanted to invest promotion into. It's for a niche of people like you who can understand stuff like that, and those who want it know exactly where to go and get it. So if you mess with stuff like that, you know exactly where to go and get it. That's how come you've heard it and you've appreciated it. And I'm sure there are so many people out there who have heard it, but it's not for the ordinary Ghanaian. I'm sorry, it's not.
The way you do your rap, do you see yourself going to education, where you want to use your music to target students, and say, this is a song they might have to even work with in class and all that?
Well, I haven't thought about it that way, but we'll see what God will do. I mean, I've always pondered on what to use as my corporate social responsibility. I've had a few thoughts about what to do to help society, and if one of the ways is to use my music as an educational tool, then that should be easy because I'm already doing that. So we'll see.
There's no piercing, but there are tattoos. What's the difference?
The piercings
For
and
you,
the tattoos.
and the tattoos. Why wouldn't you pierce and you rather prefer to have tattoos? Any special reason? Because
I've just not considered it. I don't know.
you don't like it.
It's not I don't like it. I think it's pretty cool. I might get a piercing if I want to. But now I'm just a tattoo guy. I just like getting tattoos.
So,
but
so what does this
the
mean? It looks like a
piercing.
headset. Is that it?
Yeah, this is the symbol of my fans, my aliens. So, yeah, it means aliens. My fans are called aliens.
I know.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Same thing I have over here.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then this one is.
This one says masterpiece. This was one of the first ones that I got. It says masterpiece, and that's my mother's name, Na Aikanle Adabla or Ankara, and this one says impetus. So it's
Shows
different.
how you love your mom.
Yes. I think everybody loves their mom,
Yeah.
except for the crazy ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Make I love you, baby, overdose. Give you all my love, baby, overdose. My baby, they do me better. Check it out. This is EL. Love and respect to everybody out there. You know what it is. Love me. Let's go.